My name's Peter Anahan. I'm the chair of the Centre for Appropriate Technology. We're a non-government, not-for-profit Indigenous organisation based in Alice Springs. We were set up in 1980. At that time, a lot of Aboriginal residents were then gaining access back to Aboriginal lands, and having access back to land was one thing, but it was more important for people to be able to live there sustainably. And so they came to CAT and asked for assistance around community development and planning and around products to help them live there on country. Generally, people were used to a cattle station sort of system where you'd start a generator at a station at 6 o'clock in the morning. You'd have a noisy diesel generator thumping away all day, and then that would be switched off at night. Solar energy is a fantastic alternative to diesel because diesel is just so expensive. Anywhere you travel now, up and down the Stewart Highway, even in Alice Springs, it's almost $2 a litre for diesel. It's always been expensive, and when you in low socio-economic sort of backgrounds, struggling to make ends meet, paying for fuel at high cost like that makes it very hard to live there. What Bushlight was able to create was that people actually had 24-hour power, which a lot of them had never received before. And when you haven't got access to a lot of money, having a solar system is just a perfect fit.
Up in this plateau, it's a really rough, wet season. We get cut off for 6 months period during the wet season because of the river systems running and flowing real hard. Before we used to cut off fuel before the wet season, maybe 30 or 40 or 50 drums, and we had to do a lot of running with our little trucks, especially Toyota, bringing a bulk of fuel, and it's really, really hard because the road condition is very, very rough. And,
well, yeah, the NT does present extremely interesting transportation and logistical issues. A great example is Ramingining last year, where the community was cut off for a couple of months during a big wet season, and they had 3 or 4 days of spare diesel. After that period, it's like all the fridges went off. So they had to hire helicopters to chopper in diesel. I don't know what the cost of that was, but it would have been phenomenal.
So how many tons of diesel you taking to the power station?
We're going to take 60,000 litres there.
Oh, yeah.
That's 100 trips of 3 drums, isn't that right?
You wouldn't believe how much time a community spends thinking about diesel, driving to get diesel, humbugging for diesel from government agencies. So they've got no time to do anything else around livelihoods in their community or education of their children. I mean, it's really keeping the community alive because they've got to keep their fridges running if they want to live out there. Or they want their kids to be able to do their homework at night. I mean, it's as simple as that. The sun goes down at 6:30, so everyone's sitting in the dark. They sit out by the fire. Very hard to do your homework.
it was very, very difficult because I was running on a little generator, trying to feed the whole computer system in here. It was a lot of breakdown. We had to bring in technicians.
So someone has to drive out there, maintain the generator, then drive out there to deliver fuel. And this can only happen for, 6 months of the year. And the other 6 months, it's basically homelands are a little bit on their own.
Yeah, that was costing us about $30,000 and for fixing the power system.
And so quite often you'll find that they just simply, for periods, have no power at all. So they've got no refrigeration, they've got no lights, they've got no fans. So many of them do go back into major towns despite the fact that they really want to live out there. And that's where we came along.
We sort of read a little bit about the bushlight happening across another, around Australia, and an opportunity for us to tap in with the guys at Bushlight mob. And I went in town and I started to talk to them and try to ask them, they helped, sorting out this new power system for us.
It just makes sense. The maintenance costs involved with a solar system are minimal. We do a major service of our systems once a year. The breakdown rate is very, very small. I mean, that's got a lot to do with our training of the community, and they do their small maintenance tasks, which keep it ticking along quite well.
Well, I think it's the community energy planning is the most important aspect of the system. Because you actually sit down with the communities and work out about what's important to them, and then you can design a system to suit.
Yeah, we go in there and we negotiate around how many people are living in the house, how many lights they have, how many fans they have, what other extra things they're going to need to use.
And it wasn't just focusing on the current situation, it was also taken into regard the aspirations for the community and future planning. So then designing a system to suit that need.
The EMU was a bit of I think it's a pivotal component of what has made the Bushlight program so successful. It really is. It's an excellent piece of technology.
This shows us how much power that we have during the day. It goes up, during the day it all goes down again. And that's how we can recognize that power is, we have full power.
So Bushlight developed the energy management unit, which is a box on the wall that has basically a fuel gauge and a power meter on it, and timers.
And that's a good idea, because a lot of people, don't understand the power system, how much we're using, but the way I've designed this, it's pretty, very simple.
So every day at 12 o'clock, their 4 green lights, we call their discretionary power, fills up their tank, and they can then use their discretionary power for anything they basically want to use their green power for. It's up to them. We also have a yellow light, which we call the essential budget, and that's a separate circuit directly for the fridges, freezers, and a light. So unless they pull out the fridge and plug something in, their essential energy will always stay on.
Yeah, this is a setup we have here at the moment that runs the whole community. Having a full set of power, that's what made a big difference. Before, we had a lot of problems. You only had 2 or 3 hours of power, and that's it. And now, because of our renewable energy systems right here, it's much better. We've got full length of proper power system running 24 hours a day. Yeah, and it's great.
So you're looking 20, maybe even 30 years for a system to be functioning, and it's very easy to see that over a long time frame, these systems pay for themselves over and over and over again. And the energy, the fuel supply, comes out every day.